Hi, this is Rajiv Paul, RJ Rajiv from the Suno Audio Studio, bringing to you this very special program. It's a chit chat with a member of Hindu Viva organization, Shweta. Hi, Shweta, how are you?
Hi, Uncle. How are you doing? I'm doing well.
You. Um, I think I need to mute. Shashiji, if you can mute yourself, I'll unmute him. Yeah. Um, Before I start the program, I would just tell my audience one thing, just the fun part of it. शादी का लड्डू जो खाए वो भी पछताए, जो ना खाए वो भी पछताए. But marriage is such a thing that it's a journey of life that binds two people together. It brings the happy um, kind of matrimonial connection between them and starts the journey, which is always beautiful as we move forward. But finding the right partner for your journey of life in the marriage is one of the very challenging things. And many a times it happens that a certain way in school, colleges, professionally, we meet people, we click and everything, and they bond together. But many times those things do not happen, and we are always looking for an opportunity to meet the right people. And Hindu Viva has formed a platform where they basically kind of indirectly helping the kids to realize they don't have to hit the bars and things like that and the clubs to find suitable partners. They have organized a platform where Hindu singles can mingle, come together, get to know each other, and find someone who really fits into the journey of their life. And Hindu Viva is doing a great part in that, and they keep hosting different kind of sessions in different cities where they bring the singles together, they interact with each other, and uh, move forward to see if the match happens or not. And many successes have happened in the past. So today, I'm going to talk to Shweta to tell us a little bit more about it, more than what I know about Hindu Viva. So first, tell us, Shweta, what is Hindu Viva?
Hi, Uncle. So, Hindu Viva, it's a nonprofit platform created and run by the Hindu community. It has a large volunteer base consisting of wonderful volunteers spread all over the U.S. who come and help because they believe in this cause and they want to make sure that the people in the community are able to find a suitable life partner. So, Hindu Viva conducts a lot of events for Hindu singles to meet each other for the purpose of forming relationships leading to marriage. But it is not a dating site. It is just a event creates setting up events to allow people to meet each other. The events are for all Hindu singles, so irrespective of region, language, country of origin, or race. We are fully inclusive of all Hindus, and it is completely volunteer run and has been serving Hindu singles for about 8 years now.
Okay, so is it a membership organization?
It is actually, but the membership is far more affordable than most other memberships for other types of dating websites. It is only $15 per year to participate in Hindu Viva events, and that is inclusive of dozens of events per year, as in person as well as online virtual events hosted on Zoom.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a very tricky question.
Mhm.
Uh, if you joined Hindu Viva because you are single and you paid your dues and everything, and you did go through for the whole year, even though you got married during the year, you still stayed as a member for the whole year. Have you
Yes.
seen the people who are married through Hindu Viva also coming back and renewing their membership for the future years?
I would hope not. The main purpose is to find that life partner. And once the members have found their partner, we don't really see in or encourage members to continue to renew their membership.
Okay. So, what does the membership entail?
So, as I mentioned, it means that members are able to participate for free in Hindu Viva's dozens of events per year. And in most cases, this means that the local team arranges a venue for the meetings, snacks, and just making sure that the members that are coming to these events are fully vetted, that their identity has been verified, and they also provide access to a lot of online events that are tailored towards more specific groups. So there'll be events for perhaps people, Hindus that have grown up in the US and Canada, Hindus that have perhaps are single parents, and other types such as based on specific professions. So it does allow access to a variety of dating events.
So tell us like a little bit more details about events as such. How many events? What kind of events this membership provide you? I know that there are some in-person events like the ones in happening in DC, and we'll talk to you about it. But
Yeah.
tell us, as a member, throughout the year, what kind of and what events does happen?
Yeah, so I can tell you a little bit about exactly what the events will be like. When people come to the events, they will be asked to check in. Their photo ID will be
Before,
checked.
sorry, Shweta, sorry to cut you off there. Not before we go to the process of what happens during the event. What
Uh-huh.
are the various events that happen during the year for the members?
Sure. So there will be in person events and virtual events over Zoom.
Okay, so what are these events? So let's talk about the Zoom event, for example. How many during the year, and what are these events?
Yeah, so the Zoom events tend to be for more specific groups of people. They're either narrower age groups, they'll be focused on specific types of people like vegetarian singles, singles who are 40 plus, perhaps single parents, medical professionals, and other focused interest groups. Whereas the in person events are targeted toward a broader range of Hindu singles between the ages of 26 and 47.
Okay, that's great. That's great information. So, when a single Hindu single person registers with Hindu Viva, is part of the database membership database, and Hindu Viva then organizes these various Zoom events, which are uh, kind of based on certain categories as such. It can be broader or it can be narrower based on the categories. And these singles then participate into those Zoom events to get to know and mingle with other singles of that kind of interest group.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
right?
And so the way that these events are set up is very similar to speed dating, where um, couples will have the opportunity to spend 4 to 5 minutes a time to meet other people. And they will get a chance to, after the event is over, state whether or not they're interested in certain singles.
Hmm.
And the committee will match those singles who have expressed interest with the other singles that have expressed interest, provide the information. It's just the email address for people that have matched to each other so they can reach out to each other. And that is the end of Hindu Viva's engagement. And then it is on the individuals themselves to reach out and hopefully make a connection.
Okay. So, do you know of any success stories, Shweta, that you want to share with anyone?
Sure. We don't track them since a lot of these success stories do happen a year or two afterwards in terms of marriage. But we do know of over 60 couples that have met through Hindu Viva and have um, entered into a long term relationship or gotten married.
Okay, cool. So, if anyone listening to the show and being engaged in the show today, if you have family members who are looking for the right match for the marriage with the Hindu partners as such, uh, do get involved, get engaged with Hindu Viva, and get more information about them, because I know that it's a great organization which have really brought people together. Sureka saying, doing great, Shweta. She's sending you the compliments. Hi, Sureka. Thank you. So I understand that in-person event is coming up soon in next week or so, right? So tell us
Yes,
a bit more about the DC event that will be happening in the near future.
of course. So we actually have an event coming up very soon, Saturday, June 14th. It'll be from 2 to 5 p.m. and hosted at the event hall at the ISKCON Mandir in Potomac. So their address is 10310 Oakland Drive in Potomac, Maryland.
So
The event itself,
103.
10310 Oakland Drive, and that's located in Potomac, Maryland. And all
Okay.
of this information is also available on the Hindu Viva website, which is just www.hinduviva.org.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So the event itself is from 2 to 5 p.m. And while
The right
uh,
address, 10310 Auckland Drive. Sorry, wrong address.
10310 Oakland Drive, yes, that's correct.
I wrote it drivers. That's my bad. Just want to make sure I give the information.
Of course.
Yeah, someone. Okay. So that's the address. And what's the your web address?
It's www.hinduviva.org. And
Perfect.
there you'll be able to find flyers for many of the upcoming events, and you'll be able to register as well for the in person Hindu singles events in Potomac.
Okay, perfect. So tell us about this DC event. How will it happen? Tell us the process, how the people can go about registering, etc.
Sure. So to register for the event, we ask that you go online to the Hindu Viva website. You'll find a flyer for the event happening in DC, and you'll be able to register for the event online. The event is from 2 to 5 p.m. And we ask that people start showing up at around 1 p.m. to begin check in. Because we'll have so many people, the check in process can get a little bit lengthy. So, to avoid long check in lines, the earlier you come, the better it is. Doors to the event will close right around 2:15 p.m. to make sure that we can start the event on time. So please come timely and be sure that you are able to make it, because we will not be able to keep the event open for anyone if they are running late.
Okay, perfect. And Shweta, because the Vivah is between the two people, man and a woman's bond, if the membership when you're registering, is the number of men registering versus women registering pretty much the same? The numbers are different. How does that go about? Is there a limit on how many people can register at a given time? Can you give us a little bit more details about that?
Sure, of course. And that's a great question. So, we do want to make sure that there is an equal number of men to women to make sure that everyone is able to spend the time speaking with someone. And sometimes the events do fill up a little bit faster for one gender versus the other. So there'll typically be a wait list available if the one gender has filled up, and then the wait list will be opened up if people do drop out of the event. For some of these larger in person events, they typically have about 200 people come, and so that's about 100 men and 100 women.
Okay, so that's a number that
Mhm.
you guys can take, right? 100 to 100. So, can the parents come there?
No, these events are limited to Hindu singles. Parents and other chaperones are welcome to wait outside the event space, but we do limit the events themselves to only singles so they can freely engage with other singles.
Okay, because I'm just feeling like the old days parents going outside the exam house or something and waiting for them. It's like, okay, मेरा बेटा आने वाला है. कैसा गया? कोई मिली कि नहीं मिली? कोई मिला कि नहीं मिला?
Of course. And we want to make sure
or,
that it's as
or trying
casual
to,
an environment as possible, reducing the pressure to allow people to meet each other comfortably.
yeah, or trying to go and meet with the organization or organizers as such, saying, uh, did you able to find someone like this for my beta beti?
Exactly. Exactly. So do want to be able to avoid that pressure.
Yeah. So how do you manage that if that kind of pressure does come through and parents come with their children because they're very anxious to find the right match?
Of course, and I completely understand a lot of the parents' anxieties. Finding a partner, they say, is one of the biggest decisions you can make in your life and really impacts the rest of your life. And to those parents, I'll say that these things happen when the time is right. So, by giving your child a little bit more space, a little bit more freedom, and reducing some of the pressure, it can help them find the right person and making sure that you do give them a little bit of wiggle room to figure out what the right fit is for them.
Good to know. So is there usually a dress code when the singles come there?
Yes. Given that a lot of these events do happen on temple grounds, we do ask that everyone dress appropriately and respectfully. So, no need to show up in full black tie gala attire, but we do ask that people show up in comfortable, casual clothes, but again, respectful of the fact that they're in a temple environment. So, nothing short, nothing revealing, nothing inappropriate.
Yeah, and also like you're there to impress, right? In some
Yes, yes.
fashion or the other. So you want to dress up sharp enough so that you're going there for a purpose, and that purpose is being met, and you're not going negative on your image as such.
This is potentially your chance to make a first impression on your future spouse. So dress in the way that you want to present yourself,
Exactly,
that
exactly.
person.
Dress to impress. Make that first impression.
Yes.
So good to know. What should the singles expect when they get to the temple or get to the event site?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, as I mentioned, we do encourage people to show up early for these events so they can check in at the check in desk. Make sure that you do bring your photo ID so that your identity can be confirmed. This is a big thing that we do make sure the age and the name of the person joining the event is accurate. And then once they join the event, there will typically be a speed dating portion where singles will meet other people in their age group for about 4 minutes each. Then they will break for snacks, which is followed by a social hour. So then the singles will be able to meet a little bit more freely across age groups as they see fit before concluding the event. I will say some of our events, occasionally participants on their own, organize a after event experience and do continue to mingle at another location. So that's always an option if the participants feel like things are going really well and they want to continue spending time with the people that they've met at the events.
So at the initial meet, are you guys doing the matching of the age groups and things like that?
So we'll only be matching people up by age group. But after the event is over, the matches happen by singles will selecting who they liked and who they want to be matched with. So that'll happen on an app on their phone. So we do encourage everyone to bring their phone to the event, but the attendees don't need to download anything before the event.
Okay.
After the event's over, we'll send a link to enable all the participants to view the singles who came to the event. And then you can click on the singles you like using their phone and up to 24 hours after the event. So that 24-hour cutoff, the committee will compute and send out all mutual matches about a day after that 24-hour period. And then singles can contact their matches and take it from there.
Okay. Cool. So that's very interesting to know. So when you come there, I'm just basically going through the process in my mind again.
Yeah.
For anyone who's hearing, and if they're going through the process in their mind, um, the the matches you are going through a speed dating approach. You said 4 minutes that they get to talk to each other.
Yep.
They keep going within the group. So suppose you have a group of 20 to 30 or something age group,
Yep.
and they meet up with their potential folks that they want to talk to. They will talk to the 10 people in that particular group. All 10 get to talk to each other in that group, right? In that 4 minutes time frames kind of thing each. I'm just taking like if they're 20 to 30, 10 males have registered in the 20 to 30 group and 10 females have registered in
Yes.
20 to 30
Yes.
group. So each 10 of them in their permutation combination are able to talk to each 10 of them, right?
Yes. Yes, that's
And
correct. So all the males and all the females will have an opportunity to talk to each
yeah,
other
and they
during
get
these
to talk
meetings.
like four
Eh,
minutes, 4 minutes each kind of thing with each other.
Yes. Yes,
And
that's yes.
there are some facilitators out there who are basically monitoring that time clock for the 4 minute discussion.
Yes, they will only be monitoring the time. They will not be facilitating the conversation. So
Yeah,
we'll
but
let
monitoring
participants
the
decide
time,
how
right?
to have those
Right. That
conversations.
I can understand. You're not going to facilitate the conversation, but you're monitoring the time. What happens? Like, I'm just curious. I'm just getting too excited about this thing.
Yeah.
Not that I want to get married or anything again, but I'm just going through this process, finding it very interesting. I've never seen a process like this. So, uh, what if the two potential people are talking to each other and they really get into very interesting conversation and they find each other very interesting to talk to and they feel
Yeah.
there is some kind of connection happening, but the
Yeah.
time clock is ticking and it's beyond 4 minutes and their conversation is right in the middle point where the discussion started to become very interesting. How do
Yeah.
you manage that situation?
Well, then the great thing is that we do have that social hour after the initial speed dating. So they'll be able to pick up right where they left off and be able to continue that conversation with the person that they felt that connection with.
Okay, so you politely come in and say, please move forward.
Yep, yep. We have to be a little bit strict with the time because we want to make sure that everyone has a chance to speak to everyone else.
Right, perfect. There is a comment. Chitra is saying, "I like the idea of dressing up simple, no pressure to look a certain way and compete with others. The focus will be on the personality and nature of the participant." 100%, Chitra. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
at the end of the day, it's like the mental that has to connect with each other.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Clothes can always change, but the personality is what you want to connect with.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, so how can the families help? Because you talked about it's a volunteer run organization.
Hmm.
So someone thought about this great idea and said, I need to step up and help out with the Hindu singles who are trying to look for the right match and finding it challenging to find the right match. So once that organization got started, how does it get
Hmm.
funded? How do people volunteer? How they can start becoming the volunteers? What is the process about that?
So if people are interested in volunteering, they can definitely reach out to the through the Hindu Viva website to volunteer. But the biggest help that people can do is by sharing the Hindu Viva website and the upcoming events with the singles that they know in their families, in their communities, or their friends themselves. So we can make sure that we have as many participants as possible to encourage the number of matches.
Perfect, perfect. Um, so I know Shashikanji, one of the organized or the initial thought behind Hindu Viva, has also joined us. So I'll invite Shashiji very quickly. Shashiji, how did you go about thinking about starting this organization, Hindu Viva?
Well, every party that I went to, people my age were complaining, look, I have this daughter who's 30, 31, or whatever, and just can't find a match. And they were feeling very frustrated because back in India, your driver, your neighbor, your teacher, everybody would recommend somebody, and pretty much matches would happen. People would get married. So here, we don't have that ecosystem. So the common complaint led a group of us, it was a group effort. A bunch of us in Dallas got together and we had our first event in August of 2017 at a restaurant in Dallas. Since then, we've had somewhere between 250 and 300 events. We've lost track. But coming back to the question of how many matches that have happened, a lot of us don't tell us that they got married through Hindu Vivah. Just yesterday, we found out that from our last DC event, one couple got married, and we found that out after the fact. So, similarly, there are a lot of weddings that we find out just by chance later. But the only statistic that we have is how many mutual matches happened at each event. Now, one thing that didn't come up in your conversation so far is how big are the events? Sweta did say that there's about 200 people in in-person event. Our Zoom events have, we aim for 60 people, 30 boys, 30 girls. Our Zoom events will have somewhere between 20 to 40 mutual matches,
Mm.
okay? And our in-person events, depending on how many people actually come, will have between 60 to, let's say, 100 mutual matches. That's a very good statistic.
Right.
Because we are sort of pre-matching people based on age or interest, so chances of them connecting and liking each other increase a lot. So we've had pretty good success overall. We couldn't give you an exact number on how many weddings happened. Sweta's guess of 60 is probably very, very close. Uh, we know definitely some people. For example, Surekha ji from your team just mentioned that they connect one of their friends, approximately 60 years of age, just connected and they're about to go attend their wedding or whatever. So a lot of weddings do happen. We just don't get to know about all of them.
Right, right, right. So I do know about few of the success stories, which I don't want to name it here as such on the broadcast, but I've heard about that through Hindu Viva. They came together, they went through the speed dating approach as such, and the things did work out very well for them. So as you said many times, they will go after the event, get to connect and everything, the things progresses. You may not come to know that they've already moved forward with it. And some may come back and tell you that thank you so much, Hindu Viva, that we were able to find the right match with each other. So irrespective whether they tell you or not, whether they come back with the data or not, you guys are doing an amazing job of uh, getting two people connected and getting them to start off with a beautiful journey. And it is not just for a certain age group, because as you said, even the folks at a very senior age of 55 or 60 plus have found the right matches from Hindu Viva. So it is age agnostic. Um, the only thing is that you guys focus on Hindu as a religion for the people to find the matches from within the organization. Um,
Exactly.
so I do want to highlight again the next event, in-person event, is happening in DC area in Maryland at the Harirama Krishna Temple. That's the temple, right? 10310
Yes.
Ocean
Yes.
Drive in Potomac, Maryland.
Yeah.
Do go and register if you are looking for for your children to find the right match or something. It's a great opportunity for going and attending the event, or your children to attend the event and register for this particular event. And the membership, as Shweta mentioned earlier, is $15 for the annual membership. So, Shweta, how do they make the payment for this membership? Zelle, through Venmo?
Sure. So they can make that payment through Zelle or even using their credit card. And I have to say, I did try quite a few dating sites before I met my husband, and that is one of the cheapest rates that I have found. So
It
very
is.
affordable and great way to be able to meet so many amazing singles.
Yeah, I know. Like if you have to register through shadi.com or the matrimonial site, that itself, that registration to those website itself is a pretty hefty fees for doing that. The membership fees for that. So this is a great price, and for the very good cause. And have you guys seen ever like the mismatch between the number of boys and girls registration with for the in-person event?
Yeah, so in those cases, we do try very, very hard to make sure that there is a one-to-one ratio. So there will be times where we open up a wait list to make sure that we have just a one-to-one ratio. Quite a few times we'll have more than one gender, and then we'll either add in more spots for people of the other gender, or we will allow people to come off the wait list if spots open up because of someone who registered and perhaps had a conflict and isn't able to make it. So we do try to make sure that for all of these events, we do have a one-to-one ratio.
And though we are talking a little bit about the in-person event happening next week on June 14th from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Hare Rama Hare Krishna Temple in Potomac, Maryland, I do want to say that if anyone listening to this show outside the Washington D.C. area but within USA, if they are will they would want to, they have children who want, they're looking for the right match, go to hinduvivah.org and register yourself there. uh, so two things: first, you'll get an opportunity to attend the Zoom session. The second, you'll get an opportunity when Hindu Viva comes to your town for the in-person event as such.
Talking about that, Rajiv ji, we have already announced events in the next couple of months. In DC, of course, we're talking about that. There's one in Chicago happening, Detroit, Southern California, and Tampa. And the other important thing to mention is most of our Hindu folks, in the diaspora, they're kind of divided, like, people hang out with their own state people or similar, whatever, caste or whatever. Hindu Viva is truly a pan Hindu effort. And let me explain what I mean by that. Our volunteers are from the whole cross section of the Hindu society. For example, on our July 5th weekend, NAS, the Telugu Society, one of the big associations, is hosting it at their annual conference. Last year, our biggest event was at the Kadwa Patel Samaj Hall in near Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia. Then last year, we had a very big event in the FOGA, the Federation of Gujarati Association. And similarly, the Mandir in Southern California that is hosting it, they are another community yet. So everybody is coming together to help our young ones and our single ones, not necessarily young or whatever. All kinds of, we are blind to any kind of Hindu. It doesn't matter what race you are, what your origin is, you're welcome to get our help.
That's great to know. There is a question from Malashraf. Let us know if Atlanta is on the list.
Yes, very much on the list. Today, I was kind of sort of shaming the Atlanta group. Hey, what's going on? You guys used to do the most. You know what's funny? Our first Atlanta event, there's a young second generation Telugu gentleman that met a first generation fresh immigrant from India. Beautiful couple, great pair, and their photo used to be on our website for a while. They were our, whatever it's called, the representatives or whatever, our spokespeople for a while. And Atlanta has done the most number of events, probably second after Dallas or close, and they've had a lot of luck. So yes, Atlanta team is gearing to find a space. They just couldn't decide on the date because volunteers were having conflict or whatever. I promise you, within the next 2 months, we'll have one in Atlanta for sure.
Perfect. Good to know that. So I think we covered pretty much everything for today's session. And most importantly, I want to say if you want to volunteer for the June 14th event and help out, the organizers for the DC event will be more than happy to get the list of volunteers to help them out with that. Register if you have family members who are looking for the right matches. Do go register with hinduviva.org. The annual membership for the single is only $15, and it provides you opportunity to attend their virtual events as well as the in-person event. And the success rate, as we just heard, is pretty decent. If not the highest, but it's pretty decent and very successful. So if you're looking for the right match, do go and attend. Nothing to lose. At the end of the day, I always say that for these kind of events, which is run by volunteers. They're putting in their time, they're putting in their energy. And if you're looking for the right match and you've gone and hit all the bars in the town and you've done all other things, why not take out one weekend and go spend some time with the singles in this particular event? Who knows? You'll find the right match somewhere or the other, right? So do attend that. Do attend the DC event and do register with Hindu Viva for the future events. Anything else, Sweta or Shashi, you would want to highlight that we have not already discussed? You're on mute, Shashi.
Rajiv ji, I would like to mention that the atmosphere you'll see at our event is going to be very different because all of us are motivated by getting good karma points from the divine, right? We're not doing this for money or any other gain. So our attitude towards our singles is like, hey, these are our kids, or these are our brothers and sisters, or our family. So you will get a very homely kind of attitude from our volunteers, and they care about you, and they're doing this for your success with no gain in mind, no monetary or other kind of gain in mind. That's the difference that sets us apart from other organizations.
Makes sense. Yep. Very well said. Shweta, any other comments, thoughts?
Yeah, just one other thing. Sometimes if you're waiting a long time for an event, there's also a WhatsApp group based on age groups. So verified members can join the WhatsApp group, and all singles have to post their bio every month. So it gives you an opportunity to match with other members and network with people who are in the Hindu Viva community. So you're not just waiting for the next event to pop up.
So you're basically doing everything that shadi.coms, matrimony.coms kind of organizations do, but you're doing with a completely different heart, with love in your heart more than greed in your heart. You're doing it for the goodwill of the children and the next generation, and doing with the minimal possible fees that a person can pay for this kind of service. So kudos to you guys for doing what you're doing. Great service for everybody. And I know you'll get lots of blessings when the people match up and they move on with their happy married life after meeting at Hindu Vivah groups and such. So, and as Mala said very beautifully, matchmaking in earth. It's very well done. Uh, so thank you so much, Shashi. Thank you so much, Shweta, for your time today to come and talk about Hindu Viva. I just want people to know that the next in-person meeting in the DC area is happening on June 14th, which is next Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m. at Hare Rama Hare Krishna Temple at 10310 Oakland Drive, Potomac, Maryland. Go. And Sureka said, you can share my number. I will surely do that, Sureka. Will be happy to do that. Or you can type in your number, Sureka, if you want. I can just post it right here. Um, so I'll wait for Sureka. If you're writing the number, I'll wait for you to write the number and we'll post it here or even after the program. So thank you so much, Shweta. You took out time from your busy schedule to join
Nice.
in this evening. I really appreciate it. The next generation showing us the path to, to volunteer and volunteer with a smile. And Shashiji, thank you so much for putting this organization together, for doing the good cause. A lot of blessings will come your way. So
Thank you.
that's
Thank you for taking the time to do this for us. And like I said, it's a big group effort. The whole Samaj is involved.
right, exactly. So that's the number for Sureka. If you have any questions, reach out to her as she's one of the lead volunteers for the DC event for Hindu Viva happening next weekend. So with that, signing off. Thank you so much, Shweta. Thank you so much, Ashiji. And all the best to the volunteers for next week. If you have singles in the family, you're looking for the right match, please go ahead and register yourself at hinduviva.org. So with that, thank you so much, guys. Good night.
Thank you and
Good
namaste.
night.
Namaste.